Hey guys, I'm Vanessa Bellani and I'm here to talk a little bit about diabetes stuff today. Yay! My absolute favorite thing in the world is my Dexcom. I love it so much. And if you guys have one, I know you love it too. If you don't have one, you need to get on the ball. Come on guys, let's go. By the way, let me check my sugar before we get going with this. 119, I'm dropping though, so hopefully I don't need to stop and have a snack or anything during this. The Dexcom is so awesome. I love it so much. I do have a video from a couple years ago on the Dexcom G4, all about it, how it works, how to insert it into your arm. So the Dexcom G5 goes right onto the phone. You don't have to carry a receiver anymore. It's all right there on your phone, which everybody pretty much carries their phone with them everywhere anyway. And then I can also get it on your Apple Watch. So it's all right there on my wrist as well. So I'm sure eventually I will be having a video about how all of that works and how that all gets incorporated. It's pretty awesome stuff. What a time to be alive, guys, with this amazing technology we have. So anyway, what this episode is all about is how to keep your Dexcom on longer. Not necessarily past the 7 days, which I do and a lot of people do, just because, let's face it, it's expensive to be diabetic. And the Dexcom is not super cheap, and if you have deductibles and everything, you want to, try and get the most out of it. So anyway, yeah, I'm talking more along the line of making sure that it stays put for at least the 7 days and ways to make it more fun. So here we go, guys. So right here we have the Dexcom sensor and then the transmitter snapped into it. So the sensor is what is attached to the tape. That's what's under the skin. That's what it is. Checking your blood sugar every 5 minutes, sending it to your phone, keeping updated on the trends of the highs and the lows, and when you're nice and stable and steady and boring. And the way that this works is the transmitter snaps into it. The transmitter has Bluetooth, and then it sends it to your phone. So the sensor is meant to last about 7 days. Again, Dexcom, I don't think recommends this, but if you're able to get longer out of it, you do you. I won't tell on you. And to keep this on, what I use is these fun things called PumpPeelz. And this is the one I just took out, and actually my transmitter just died, so this is my brand new one I just put in yesterday. And you can see that the PumpPeel is just a bit bigger than the white sticky that's already part of the Dexcom. But it makes it a little more fun, because you can get all kinds of fun decorated ones. You can make your own. I have a whole bunch here right now. And actually, it is October, and we're coming up on Halloween. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is I am going to do the It Clown. How cool is this? Did anybody see the movie It? It was pretty creepy. And they freaking have an It Clown PumpPeel. Like I said before, what a time to be alive with diabetes. We are the coolest people ever that we get to wear this stuff. I also have one with skeletons on it, which I'll probably wear next week after the It Clown one is done. Flowers, Scuba Steve, sleepy pineapples, all kinds of fun ones. Then I have another one of the Day of the Dead back here, or the sugar skulls. We have, this was a custom one that I made with little, I have a weird nautical obsession. I don't know where it came from, but ship wheels and anchors. Got a little comic, little action bubble. And then they have a London one, which I thought was kind of fun. So lots of other options for you. For whatever strikes your fancy. These are just the ones that I was interested in that I bought. So these run around $3 each, and I know some people that might sound like a lot, but again, this is the only thing I've honestly tried that has kept my Dexcom on really, really well. And I'm a pretty active person. I swim a lot. I'm in my hot tub a couple times a week. I skydive, and I wear these usually with nothing else holding it down except for a PumpPeel. falling through the sky 120 miles an hour, doesn't come loose, so I think you're gonna be safe. All right, so according to the PumpPeelz website, they don't want you to put any kind of IV prep or anything down before you put this on. If you wanna get the best seal, you're actually gonna put it on just plain clean skin, not put anything down first. Now, that being said, what I usually use is an alcohol swab. And again, that's just me. You can take it or leave it, decide what works best for you. But I showered earlier today, and I'm sure I have a little bit of, you know, sweat or something going on. I have 7 dogs, so I'm sure there's something on my arm by now that I wanna make sure it's nice and clean. So I am gonna use an alcohol swab. And I just kind of go all the way around a big area like this to clean off my skin. I wanna try and get the best seal because I want this baby sticking. I do not want it coming up at all. I want it staying down good so I don't have to worry about it coming off. I'll let that dry. All right, once I know for 100% that my skin is dry and there's no moisture left here at all, then what we're going to do is we're going to peel the PumpPeel off the backing. So this is a source of anxiety for some people because they're so worried they're going to screw it up and they don't want to mess it up. I try not to let myself get all worked up about it. I just figure I'm just going to go for it and try my best to get it on there as nicely as I can. All right, so all you really need to do is just find a corner and just kind of start peeling it off. And I just do it kind of slowly. Try not to touch very much of it if I can help it. And there is a cutout hole already for the sensor and transmitter, but I usually have to use my finger to kind of help it a little bit. So now that's still left on there. That's the cutout part. And you can see the hole there. So now here the tricky part comes. So like I said, you wanna just do your best job here. It's probably better to do this in a mirror, which I usually do. But as you can see, I'm not really pushing down on anything yet. I'm trying to get it nicely situated, maybe no wrinkles. Before you press down, you can usually reposition it if you need to. Okay. All right, I think we're good on that side. Hi guys. Welcome back 3 days later. I had a low blood sugar on the last video, and by the time I was done eating everything in the kitchen, you know how that goes, I was just over it. I didn't want to film anymore for the night. So here I am back 3 days later to finish this video up. So back to what we were talking about with keeping the Dexcom on longer, and I'm highly recommending the patch peels, which are a product of the company PumpPeelz, and that is PumpPeelz, PumpPeelz.com. So make sure you check them out because they are awesome and they have so many different fun things you can choose from. And I just want to show you too, one of the ones I had taken off recently, how much it really does not fade or anything like that. Pretty awesome. You can see brand new one compared to one that was on for like 2 weeks. Still looks pretty much the same minus a few wrinkles and stuff. So they last pretty long time. Stay looking pretty good. And this baby probably would have stayed on for a while longer too if I would have let it. But I like to change mine up. Keep things fun and new and interesting. Speaking of which, there's my Pennywise, the clown from It. He's still looking pretty great. This is about 3 days later, several showers later, not peeling up anywhere at all. Still very, very stuck down, looking really nice. Yeah. So guys, if there is something out there to try, I have tried it. I've tried everything to make sure that my insulin pump sites and my Dexcom stays on and stays put and does not come loose or risk losing it anywhere. So some of the things that I've tried to keep it on longer, the Omnifix tape, got a big old roll of this. Nope, didn't work. Lasted for a couple days and I thought it was gonna be a nice solution, but after a couple days, it was peeling up and looked really funky and gross, and the white tape was picking up all my nasty dirt and sweat and whatever. Then we also have the Tegaderm, and this is, I got the round one. This is one of the clear tapes. This I used for a long time. I would cut out a hole, and some people were like getting like the little hole punches from like craft stores, and then there was one that like was a perfect fit for the Dexcom. I was using that over it. This works okay, but one weird thing with it is that like heat and things, like from hot tubs and showers, it was making my skin get really red underneath, and it was also getting like really tight. Like, I don't know, it was almost like a shrink wrap whenever it got warm. And also it would start to peel up eventually. Within about a week or so, and trying to peel that off to put a new one on would eventually rip the whole thing out. So this didn't work either. I tried the skin tack, the wipes, and the liquid. Didn't really get much help from that either. No much more than those two things did. Can't say again how much I love me some PumpPeelz, or patch peels from PumpPeelz. These are awesome, and they're fun. I mean, if we're gonna have to have diabetes, we might as well make it fun, right? And look how fun these are, all the different fun things you can get, all the different colors and shapes and patterns, and you can even make custom ones. You could even print pictures of your kids or your dogs on here if you wanted to, and wear them proudly. And I'm a crazy dog lady. I'd probably, actually, hey honey, I think I wanna do that next. Design one with all 7 dogs on there. I've talked about how to keep your Dexcom on longer after it's already on, but I didn't tell you what to do with your Dexcom before you put it on to make sure that the Dexcom alone stays on if for some reason you don't want to go the route of adding the fun and extra support of the patch peels. So my best friend is IV Prep. Comes in a box of 50. It's fairly inexpensive, and you can get away with using one of these wipes at the same time for all things. So earlier I showed you how to seal the patch peel after you put it on by using one of these IV Prep wipes around the outer edge of this, and just kind of puts a seal there to keep it down. What I do is I do it all at the same time. So this is what I use on my skin before I put my Dexcom down. I think a lot of you probably use this, but one major key point to this is that your skin has to be dry. Whenever you put this down, wait till it is 100% dry before you put the Dexcom in. So let's say, for example, we were gonna put a Dexcom in this arm or in our belly or wherever you like to wear it. I know people are getting all kinds of crazy with that and wearing it in their thighs and in their calves and in their forearms. Hey, you do you. That's awesome if you're getting good readings from that. I personally love the back of my arm. I just feel like it's out of the way. That's where I get my best readings, and I love it. So let's say we're gonna do it. We're gonna be putting in a new sensor. I would use an IV Prep. I would usually do it right out of the shower, or I'd maybe clean myself with some soap and water. Then after that's dry, I would use the IV Prep wipe. Nice, go over it several times, get in there good, and then I'm going to let that baby dry, dry, dry. You don't have to wait like 20 minutes or anything. I mean, just a few minutes is fine, but you'll make sure that it's dry. You'll be able to tell that there's no moisture there anymore. And then we're gonna put the new Dexcom sensor in. And then we wanna press down around that sensor, make sure that we have a nice seal there with that tape, and then we can put down our patch peel, take that same IV Prep you just used, go around the edges, just like I showed you earlier in this video. If you do those things, guys, I promise you, I mean, unless you are doing the craziest activities I've ever seen, spending 24 hours a day at the gym, sweating nonstop, if you have like kids pulling at this all day and dogs scratching at it, might not stay. It's just, you know, it's just probably not gonna stay. But I don't even think if you put super glue and duct tape around your arm, I don't think it's gonna stay if you're doing all that. But if you are just doing the regular activities, going to the gym a few times, showering, hot tubs, pools, you know, just hanging out, doing whatever, but regular activities like that, I think you're gonna be fine. Like I said earlier, I skydive with mine in, and if I am able to fall through the sky and this baby doesn't come loose, and actually in the sky we do a lot of formations with people grabbing at my arms. Some of the people I skydive with are always a little concerned, like they're gonna rip it out. Nothing, it does not budge. So that should tell you that these PumpPeelz, patch peels, they're good. All right guys, I hope I taught you a few things. Very highly recommended, fairly inexpensive, always have sales going on. Like I said, if we're gonna live with diabetes, we might as well make it more fun. All right guys, have a good one until next time, bye.